we're getting on to nearly 20 SASs now in this program that we just came up with almost kind of intuitively at a similar time, that, you know, circling was like creating a lot of waves in Europe, and we suddenly realized that there are people coming back to multiple SASs, to multiple weekends. So we were like, well, these people, they're really committed, they want something more, and we've got loads more we want to give, and loads more depth we want to explore with circling. So we're like, why don't we create this journey for 6 months and keep the people who are committed together so they can really deepen. And then from that idea, now we're coming up to near 20, and so we wanted to kind of reminisce about why we love these journeys and leading these programs, and share with you some of those like highlights for us.
I'm just remembering when Liz was threatening to walk out after the first day and the second day, I think, and was like, who are these crazy guys? What are they doing? The number of times we've reminisced about that, because now Liz is such a dear friend and like works so closely with us and leads on the Circle Anywhere platform, and I've just got so many memories like that of just kind of like right on the edge kind of things happening that turn out good.
I think that example is because surrendered leadership and circling it is a paradigm shift. It's not the usual way a lot of self-development works. You know, really just trusting what's there, connecting and waiting for something to emerge. And yeah, so in this example, I mean, she was like, why are we just sitting around here? People are saying weird stuff, like this doesn't make any sense. But it was in that inquiry that we managed to go deeper with her and find a deeper sense of direction in us. I'm also thinking about in one of the recent SASs, I was just quietly sat in a moment. There was not much happening for me, and one of the guys in the group just came to sit with me, and at first it seemed like the conversation there wasn't really much depth or much happening, which was okay. We were just kind of talking. Then all of a sudden I realized I was holding something back, and then I shared that actually there was a contraction in me, that I was a bit triggered by something that had happened earlier, and his attention just suddenly, like, he was feeling, I think he wasn't that confident in the early part of the conversation. He just suddenly, his attention went right into me, and then suddenly I just felt so guided by him. Like every word he said to me was like,
this is Vincenzo.
Yeah, it was like perfectly attuned to what I was feeling, and then he was like encouraging me to like open to the pain I was feeling, but like not make it anything, like not try to change it or subtly heal myself. It's just really encouraging. And then it was like he started almost talking in a mantra style, and I was like blown away. I was like, what the hell? But it's like my experience transformed. It was like the deepest alchemy I'd ever experienced. And there we were, it was just like this normal moment in a break, and suddenly it was like like my whole, it's like sensation started to become a whole universe, and just meaning started to make sense in a different way, and it was a deep spiritual experience. And afterwards it's like, how the hell did you do that? Do you know what was happening there? He's like, I don't know. Like when I was in it I knew everything, but now we're out of it, I don't know how it happened, but it was amazing. And it's just stuff like that it's why I love just trusting our normal connections, and what's possible is unbelievable.
I'm remembering the end of the last SAS we did at Austin, and like the feeling I had was, it's like a mix of being at an amazing party it's like a sense that everyone has gone to their absolute limits, has like been pushed to their absolute edge, and we've been through it all together, and everyone's like elated by it and has got huge insights, and then there's, as a result, there's this bond between all of us, and it just gives me so much good feeling to remember that. It's this mix of all these different things of, like one of the selling points in a way is the development that people go through, and that's a huge piece for why people want to do the course. But I'm just left with this sense of awe and connection with these people that I know will be for life, and they're all moving forward in their own way with it, and it's part of a bigger international community now, which is like, it's so hard. It's a bit like the SAS is, until you're in it you don't know what's going to happen, and it's like with the community at large, we don't know what's happening. There's just a lot of energy and excitement and connection, and yeah.
I'm also remembering some of the challenges I've had leading, and because it's not the journeys aren't just this moments of elation and alchemy, that's for sure. There were definitely a lot of peak moments, but I remember that one morning I'd already been slightly ungrounded on the first day. It was the second day, and what I'd realised in the night is that I had really projected really strongly on one of the women who's now one of our assistant leaders, Valerie. I think it was because there was something to do with envy I was feeling, or some kind of competitiveness, and I couldn't own that. And what I had done is inadvertently kind of put pressure on her to be more truthful, and I could see that she deflated, and I couldn't really catch it at the time, but I remember being really ungrounded after doing that, and it was hard for me to share on the first night that I think I had done something unconscious and probably painful for one of the participants, Valerie. And I remember coming in the morning still feeling like I didn't know what to do about it. It felt hard to own what I had done, and I wasn't really clear what I'd done, and then suddenly it just clicked. I think someone said something to me, I think it was you actually, said something to me, I just started crying, and there we were, second day of the SAS, it was a new group, and I'm crying my eyes out, and no one knows what's happened. And then finally I can just share to Valerie and say sorry and tell her what I did, and then suddenly from this disintegrated, difficult place, just humble, deep felt apology. It's like all the pieces then start to come back into alignment again, the grounding comes back. But while that was a struggle, that was super hard, and I know everyone on the journey goes through those moments.
Yeah, I remember moments of late night Facebook conversations from America to Europe, and people behind on their payments, and me feeling triggered, and then asking you for support, and then knowing that you'd been in conversation with them as well, and high level stress of oh, what's going on, and and then almost every time when there is an event like that, on the other side of that, meeting a deeper level of intimacy that's just includes profound vulnerability, or us being them coming into their gifts in a way that blows the whole group away and takes us into something we've not felt before. And it's a really magical journey that we're all in together, and it's amazing to keep doing these events, and I'm so passionate about doing more of them and getting more people in so that we can keep doing it, because it just feels so good. I feel such a privilege to do this work, and I don't know if it will go on